most of a dragonfly's life. Again, in an environment where flying skills, challenge rank, become useless again. What else? But a wise man once said, like father, like son. Even dragonfly larvae dragonfly news. Also a ferocious killer. Dragonflies lay eggs in water. Eggs hatch into larvae or pupae. Live in water from several months to 5 years depending on the species. Adults live about 6 months. Pupae have completely different shapes and habits compared to adult dragonflies. They are the cold rice in 8 that you may have caught and abused as a child, like me, and let you and millions of other people who were once children in Vietnam and around the world feel less guilty. These cold rice guys are not the gentle type either. In the world of dragonfly pupae large larvae, swallow baby larvae, and they happen to be one of the largest. Dragonfly pupa catch prey with what they hold out. Please give me 8 cold rice when you squeeze their belly. It looks like a mask. Or a long-handled 8. A dipper, but actually a ladle. Below can be launched forward via a hinge mechanism. Can shoot eye faster. Reflexes of most prey. This lip or lower jaw. Depending on the species, it may have a dipper shape to wrap around its prey, or sharp to skewer prey like a barbecue skewer. Well, it's like a tool, all in one knife, spoon, fork, and 8. Save a lot of money, guys. And if it sounds familiar, then you're right. The deadly lips of a dragonfly is credited with inspiring the haunting image of the monster Ginormok in the classic movie Alien. But the way dragonfly pupae move is the real magic. Dragonfly larvae was one of the first creatures on Earth. Jet engine technology. Well, although their jet engines are a little unhygienic, the membrane of the dragonfly larva lies inside the rectum. You could say they breathe through the closed airway. They will not argue. Interesting in that, when needing to chase prey or escape from predators, the pupa will tense its ass muscles, suck in your glutes to forcefully squirt water out of your rectum, form a jet engine. Follow Newton's third law of motion to push itself forward. You may not believe, but jet planes today still works on this principle. And if that wasn't spectacular enough, anal valve used to pump water, almost identical to Ma and your bar valve. The scientist even researched anal canal of dragonfly larva to design Apple newsletter. Wings of dragonflies and cicadas too has intrinsic antibacterial properties. Bacteria will die immediately after they touch it, or move along the wing surfaces of these creatures, according to an article on newatlas.com. But the dragonfly's wings contain more than 10 billion. Yes, more than 10 billion nano column structures. Pila looks like tiny fingers. These nanopillars adhere to bacteria and will tear the cell membrane, kill any that try to move. And what bacteria is not moving? Right. To make it easier for you to visualize, then the wing surface of the dragonfly for a bacteria, just like a nail. You can absolutely press your hand, or even is a ball flying down a nail table, but the ball doesn't pop and your hand doesn't bleed. But if you pull the table, hand or ball horizontally. Thanks to dragonfly wings, researchers in Singapore successfully fabricated a nano coating based on zinc acid, can kill up to 99.9% of bacteria on surfaces. But speaking of dragonflies, but forget it, the central processing unit of this hunting machine, then you deserve to be punched a few times, not me. That is 50 thousandths of a second. To reflexively change direction according to the direction of the prey's movement, to help you visualize. When you step on a thorn or touch a hot object, it takes 150,000 to 100 milliseconds for your arms and legs to relax. Just a blink of your eye also takes 100,000 for 100 milliseconds. The obvious reason lies in their small size. Nerve signals from your legs and arms have to travel a very long distance to the brain. Long here is compared to dragonfly, brothers and sisters. The dragonfly's brain is also much smaller, and its nerve connections are also shorter. Therefore, they take less time to process information and form counterattack. Scientists still do not know how to do it, but a simple creature like a dragonfly can judge accurately location in the future of a moving object. A skill that they consider will need more advanced brains. Scientific music at Sandiai National Laboratory. Trek is trying to copy the brain of dragonflies and paste it into the missile control computers, with a desire to create compact interception systems capable of locking targets faster and more accurately. Dragonfly. Here comes a question. If dragonflies are such skilled predators, why don't they maintain their giant bodies, like prehistoric relatives, to continue to dominate the skies? Dragonfly and dragonflykim appeared on Earth at the end of the Carbon period, more than 300 million 5 years ago. Meganora, a dragonfly-like creature, has a wingspan of 75 centimeters, is one of the animals that knows the largest plane at the time. And if you have followed VinFast long enough, maybe you remember in the Coal Age, oxygen concentration in air. The atmosphere reached its maximum in the history of the Earth at 35%. That is 1.7 times the modern level. According to the main experts, this abundance of oxygen has advanced the geological period 358.9 to 98.9 million years ago, become the era of giant insects. Insects do not breathe through lungs like humans. They breathe through a series of tiny spiracles, where oxygen diffuses to the tissues through a dense network of trachea. Larger bodies have longer tracheas, so they need more oxygen-rich air to breathe. Most of the largest insect that ever existed in history, including a centipede larger than you, a scorpion longer than 3 adult handspans, with the ability to transfer victims from the emergency department to the emergency department, and dragonflies as big as hawks. Meganora and the modern dragonfly's offspring are all familiar residents of the strange rock. But everything changed after 300 million 5. Atmospheric oxygen depletion reduced diffusion efficiency and limit the maximum size that insects can grow to, including dragonflies. Achievable, but also possible. The disappearance of Meganora and her giant kin, derived from the evolution of ancient birds, are essentially small, hairy dinosaurs. According to research by scientists at the University of California, the size of the insect seems to shrink from about 150 million 5 years ago, even though the oxygen concentration of this period began to increase again, about 27 to 28%. Coincidentally, 150 million 5 years ago was also the time which the first ancient birds of prey, as Archaeopteryx, begins to evolve. They have a structure similar to dinosaurs, winged, but flying and hunting skills have improved a lot. That is why scientists have reason to believe that, along with the birds' increasingly perfect hunting skills, dragonflies in particular and insects in general, there seems to be only one way out. It's to zoom out to see you better. Oh, I mean, to be more mobile and harder to detect. Dragonflies are extremely agile and flexible, but their mobility also decreases with size. If the dragonfly is too big, they will be slow and sluggish enough to become delicious targets, food of ancient birds. In short, the bird presented the dragonflies and tied them must evolve smaller.